Well, for more on this, we're joined by independent security expert Dr. Mxolisi Mathebula to unpack the past week's developments at the Madlanga Commission, as well as the arrests of suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi and Witness K. Dr. Mathebula, very good evening to you. Thanks for joining us. Welcome to The Full View. First of all, IPID arrested Witness K at her Gauteng home on Friday, and hours later, Julius Mkhwanazi was picked up as well, his third arrest since he first appeared before the Commission. What does the timing tell you about IPID, or rather about how IPID is sequencing these arrests relative to the Commission testimony?
Good evening, Gongwan, and good evening to the viewers. The arrest of both Julius Mkhwanazi and Witness K was imminent, especially after the arrest of Stolz and Mackenzie. They knew that they were next in line. However, one might think that perhaps what Witness K testified about at the Madlanga Commission may have necessitated their arrest, but I don't think that is the case, because the owner of the precious stones opened a criminal case against these individuals. So the investigation was ongoing. It is just coincidental that we had even more information at the Madlanga Commission pertaining to the issue.
And we see that Witness K testified in camera, yet her identity and role were effectively an open secret by the time of her arrest. So does testifying before the Madlanga Commission actually expose a witness to greater legal jeopardy, or does cooperation typically buy some protection? I mean, where does the line sit here?
I understand the Commission says whatever is presented before them cannot be used in a criminal court, but I don't think that is the case, because sitting at home as an investigating officer investigating the same case, and I see someone at the Madlanga Commission giving evidence and giving the entire information that I have been looking for, surely that will work on my favor. Yes, witness must be protected, but now obviously tomorrow we'll see Witness K in court. The protection is out of the window. So it goes. Unfortunately, that's the situation going on.
Yeah, and two of the alleged co-conspirators, Adrian Mackenzie and Keshali Stolz, were granted 5,000 rand bail on Thursday, just a day before Mkhwanazi and Witness K were actually arrested. So is there a strategic logic to arresting suspects in that particular order, or is this simply IPID working through paperwork on staggered warrants, as their spokesperson suggested?
I think the spokesperson is on point, because IPID, they've got their own processes and don't want to just jump into conclusions and make arrests, which may later, lead to lawsuits. So they have to do their work cautiously and make sure that they have all their ducks in a row before they can make an arrest. I think it's just coincidental that it happened that way, that others were given a bail, and then the next day or so others were arrested.
And the point of contention here is the theft of precious stones. Walk me through that. Walk me through why this particular case, 14.9 million rand theft of sergilite and manganese stones from a Killarney flat, has become such a potent symbol for the whole commission, rather than just one of so many corruption dockets.
You remember, as part of the commission, they must look at what is happening, corruption as far as police are concerned in the EMPD. As they were busy with what they were doing at EMPD, then it came to light that at some point EMPD decided to work in an area which is not within their jurisdiction, which is Johannesburg. And we were told by Mkhwanazi that it was a joint operation, but later it emerged that it was not a joint operation, but it was an illegal operation. One thing they did right in that operation was for them to go to Rosebank Police Station to book in the OP. But they did not go back to Rosebank Police Station to say, we are done with our operation. That's where the problem lies as well. And a joint operation, it requires authorities from the high headquarters of those who will be taking part. The fact that the late, I think he said Masego was there from the traffic department, doesn't make it a legal joint operation. But this was later revealed by Witness K that this was something which was orchestrated between herself and her ex-boyfriend, Julius Mkhwanazi.
Now, Parliament's ad hoc committee this week found absolutely no criminal evidence against former Police Minister Senzo Mchunu, but they also flagged serious governance and integrity concerns, particularly over his decision to disband the political killings task team. You know, some members of parliament have accused the committee of diluting its own recommendations. So, Dr. Mathebula, do you then read that finding as a genuine exoneration, or as Parliament stepping carefully around a politically explosive figure?
I am not surprised by the findings from parliamentarians. I once said it in another platform that what they were doing was, there was a lot of grandstanding. One wants to prove a point that I'm from this party and that party, but they omitted to look at crucial facts. However, when you look at the issue of the suspended police commissioner or police minister, Mr. Mkhwanazi, there is no criminal offense in what he did. It's a question of governance. Because what he did, he took a decision unilaterally to disband the PKTT, and that was not a correct decision for him to take. He encroached in another territory that belongs to the police commissioner. And again, he took a decision to freeze the crime intelligence post. Again, he was not supposed to do that because that was not within his domain. So when it comes to that, he was very wrong in taking that decision. So I just wonder whether, if they say he did not do anything wrong, I wonder how did they get to that determination.
All right. Baba Mathebula, great chatting to you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. Well, that was independent security expert Dr. Mxolisi Mathebula unpacking in granular detail the past week's developments at the Madlanga Commission, as well as the arrests of suspended EMPD Deputy Chief Julius Mkhwanazi and Witness K.